A bunch of tech bros invaded this all women's conference.
They're not even tech bros. These are like desperate students.
Okay, yeah, I'll just you can say it better than me.
Well, they're essentially just like some they did some like job fair career like networking thing, and they go, it's women and non-binary only.
Yeah,
right, for tech. And so then all these dudes who are just like probably autistic, and they're like, okay, I'll just say I'm non-binary.
Yeah.
And then the funniest thing is all these women are mad because now their space is invaded by non-binary people, even though they're
now they care.
Well, now they care, but they go, oh, well, they're men. And they go like, they had he, him pronouns. You're like, hello, do you not know how non-binary works? Some days your pronouns are he, him. You don't get it? You're the ones who set it up saying we want non-binary people. They want just like chicks with short hair and like
obviously,
and then like
it's just the whole thing just gets exposed because you go, this is what people said. Like, so yeah, you and Rush Limbaugh agree then.
Exactly.
Yeah. You go, women's spaces are getting invaded. You go, well, yeah, obviously, if you say non-binary, the only characteristic is you just have to say you are.
Yeah.
Well, then why can't they just say they are?
Of course. And they're all just mad because they're like, we went through some of their social media history and they didn't start identifying as non-binary until this weekend.
So
what's
the problem with that?
Yeah, so they just came out and are living their true selves. What's the problem?
And that's the thing about being non-binary. Maybe sometimes you switch back.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's the thing. That's what they really didn't even get is they go like, because the he, him pronouns was the funniest thing because they go, there's a bunch of men running around. You go, yeah, what do you think non-binary people are?
Well, yeah. No, it is exactly what you meant. It's like, well, we mean like what they actually mean, which they can't say is like, well, we mean non-binary, but like girls.
Yeah, or like gay dudes.
Well, it's just so the whole thing's super funny, but they kind of don't know what to do with it, right? And they've got some weaselly CEO.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was a CEO, but a main guy, and he gave this big speech, and he goes, we have some cisgendered men who've been taking advantage. Everyone's like, boo.
And if I was one of those guys, I'd be like, boo, 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 boo.
It's just the bros. Yeah. But the way that they paint it, because these girls, their thing is he's not really non-binary. And you go, yeah, well, what does that mean? You go, sure. Well, it means that you think you are. He goes, okay, well, what's the qualification? And you go, I guess it's that you say you are.
Yeah, that you say you are. And they go, well, they're not living as non-binary people.
What is that? Like?
Yeah, what is that? What does that mean? That's the thing. In their minds, they have like a very even though non-binary is supposed to mean like anything, they have like a super narrow definition of what it is, even though it should be literally anything.
Well, this guy watches football.
Where's his overalls?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So it's just a hilarious thing. And honestly, there's obviously been more and more of this, but as soon as you say, hey, there's going to be if you're non-binary, there's just like a billion benefits and your life's going to be way easy. And by the way, for most people that are 21 and what's the right word? It's a guy that's you really
what, like industrious, ambitious?
Ambitious.
There we go.
Woo, woo. I knew you fucking had my back, dude. If you're a dude that's like and you're like 20 years old and ambitious, that means you would change your whole life to go to a different school. You would move for a job.
For sure.
Probably break up with your chick for a job. You think you won't say you're non-binary for a day?
And the fact is, you keep trying to sign up for these things that are meant for you, and they're like, no, we're like full, and we're not taking guys.
I don't know if you've seen some of the stats on, like being a 20-year-old white dude now getting hired. Some of those stats are like, those guys are having a rough go.
Of course they are. That's why they're changing to non-binary.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally ladybugs. It's just ladybugs all over again.
There's basically this guy that's kind of tied in with the festival. I don't know if he's the main guy or kind of runs the conference, but not the CEO of the organization or whatever. Yeah. But he goes out and he's basically about to cry in his speech, right? Just being like, I can't believe that fucking new dudes, right? Something like that, right? And then there's girls that are sort of at the festival giving their account, and the accounts are hilarious.
By the way, I'd like to note that we do feel bad for the women who think it should just be a women's only event. Like, obviously, those women are probably getting the short end of the stick because they're like, yeah, we think this is bullshit to begin with across the board. We just want it to be biological women here.
I don't think that they do think.
I'm sure some
Well,
do.
then go say that then.
Dude,
but they're not saying that.
They're not saying that, obviously,
okay, well,
there's a
then
price
too
to
bad
pay.
then.
Yeah.
Then sure. If your whole thing is like, well, I think that every single other person except for white dudes is the problem, It's like, I got no sympathy for you.
No.
I'm sorry.
I'm not talking about those people. I'm just saying for something like a STEM like tech event, there's a lot of like real autistic women who are like, yeah, there's guys and girls and that's it. There's
Well, then go say it or don't.
well, they don't because they're trying to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then too bad. I don't know.
It is too bad. Yeah. And like I said, it's
Well,
too bad.
yeah, you said hit the game. There's like, they don't want to say it.
Yep.
And okay, well, here's what happens.
Yep, it does. Sorry.
The bros have infiltrated. Again, I know what you're saying, where you're just like, there's some girls that, why should they have to pay the price? I mean, I don't know. First of all, the idea that that maybe if you go, hey, people are graduating from university, right? Women right now are graduating, from university at higher rates or whatever. There's already tons of push to get women or whatever. And then you go, hey, there's this, women get first dibs on all the best places to give their resumes. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I can imagine a 20-year-old guy being like, I don't like that.
Yeah, of course. I would do the same thing. I would be like, I'm non-binary, and I'd have a whole little outfit for it.
Well, yeah. So you're just like, hey, our unfair advantage got infiltrated.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's
The bros.
tough breaks.
Right. So they go, a tech conference celebrating women and non-binary people in computer science has sparked backlash after people said it was dominated by men. The complaints were about the Grace Hopper celebration of women in computing, which took place in Orlando, September 16th. On TikTok, attendees said that men shoved women out of the way, cut lines to submit resumes at the big tech companies attended the job fair. So this is...
First off, that's patently false because there were no men there.
Thank you.
There were no men there.
Well, yeah, they are doing a bit of a misgendering, yeah.
Your problem is with the non-binary people.
It is very picking and choosing when you get to say, no, that guy's not.
Yeah, like it is. I mean, obviously, like we just laugh about it, but yeah, for them to just be like, you're not really non-binary though.
Well, how the fuck do you know?
Yeah,
because you're right. You go, I just got pushed out of the way by a man. Be like, excuse me?
Yeah, exactly. The guy's like, what? I'm not even non-binary. I'm a woman.
Right.
Yeah, and they go, we don't seem like a woman because what does a woman seem like?
Well, thing doesn't seem to make a whole sense for someone who wants a job in computer science having trouble with logic.
You failed.
But the idea that the pitch, I doubt it was quite what they the way that they line it up. But the way that this article explains it is just the funniest visual. Just the idea of, hey, this is the women in non-binary conference, and you just have like a frat of 80 guys just stiff arming women. Just
out of my way, whores.
The girls, there's a guy that bent over while one guy pushes her.
they're just
the girl's handing her resume. The guy just takes it and rips it. Not all right. Non-binary coming through.
Yeah,
not some non-binaries coming through. All right, beat it.
Bunch of babies coming through.
Think fast, Cindy. Throws a binder in her face.
Whole computer.
just bullying them like she's got her resume, just knocking the stack in the air. Beat it, ladies. The non-binaries are here.
I'm sure like the people who are like the, employers though at these fairs were probably told like, hey, there's some guys here. So like they're probably told to like ignore them, you would think, or something of that sort. But then
the guys weren't letting them ignore them. Then they're putting in full noses.
But then they didn't have to make like these decisions where like someone drops off and they go like, was that one that we should ignore? I'm not really sure. It's like, was that one? I don't know. I don't want to get like a fucking hate crime on me.
I wonder if this was organized or every guy had his... Do you think it just kind of... The guy's like, dude, you just do this. It went around, or a lot of guys had this idea independently?
There must have been something more that we don't know. Yeah, but there must be something really desirable about being able to attend this thing where like...
Yeah, the thing desirable was basically you pay some money, you go to this thing, and you got first dibs on giving your resume to all these...
okay.
You basically had first dibs on the job market.
Right, cutting the line. So yeah, maybe. But again, like you'd think if you were a guy, like if I was a guy and I was doing that and I was pretending to be non-binary, I'd probably do like something. But the problem is they're probably just these like...
what would you do? Just shave the side of your head for the day? Kind of thing?
Something like just dye the side of my head. Just something wacky. Doesn't have to be permanent.
A dangly nose ring for the day.
Yeah, like anything, just dress like really weird or something. Just be like, I'm non-binary, and then they'll be like, I guess.
I guess if you were trying to be there and you wanted to be non-binary, maybe like just complain more. Like you show up, you're trying to fit in as non-binary. You're just pushing the girls out of line, and the guy goes, "You non-binary," and you go, "Can you believe that Trump guy?"
Yeah.
And they go, okay, all right. I'm sorry.
I used the men's room today because I'm a man today, and there were no tampons in them. Huh?
I'm
Look
feeling
around.
like a man today.
Is that something we'd complain about, ladies? No tampons in the men's room?
Can you believe it? They're cutting the line is so funny. Like, just if the fact that they weren't keeping it low key, if any of this is true, they just have a bunch of dudes just cutting in front of all these chicks, non-binary.
That's the thing too. We're only getting one side of this story. This is probably some.
Well, my guess would be it sounds like there's hundreds of fucking dudes there, and they're just probably like, no one's stiff arming the women.
No, of course. They're just like probably.
Well, they're playing victim on TikTok.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
You never want to look within and be like, hey, yeah, maybe we should just have a women's conference and not have non-binary and be like, not in a million years could that be the
solution? Because the
solution?
question is, where do the non-binaries go?
Well, why do they get an extra leg up? It's like
they're people too, Ryan.
Okay, but
multiple people.
Yeah, but the whole deal is you go, hey, women weren't allowed in. They had historically less represented in tech. It was like non-binaries. What? When did they only got invented 3 years ago?
Yeah, and they're grossly misrepresented, underrepresented.
Is that true? I don't know if that's true. Based on what? Is there any factual statement to say that they've been misrepresented?
It doesn't have to be facts, Ryan. It's how you feel inside.
Sure, because you go, well, if you say it's all girls, that okay, well,
Yeah.
fucking
No, it's obviously fucking nonsense.
in this. Okay, so she says this. She goes, "There's this other girl named Gabby." In the caption, Gabby said she waited in line to speak with a recruiter. Then a man skipped in front and cut her off the conversation. So basically,
We just cut her off.
I think you're done here. Anyways, John.
Enough girl talk. Here's all the programs that I've made since I was 12.
Yeah, they've got all their computers in their hand, just handing out their hard drives full of their computers. Just some girl computer engineer. Out of my way, ladies.
The real question is, did any guys benefit from this?
I that's the question, because if you were the job fair people, well, some of the job fair people might have just been bros too, right? Because some of these guys are just like the dude at his workplace that has to go man the booth at the festival.
Yeah, but
so if he hits it off with the guy and they end up being friends,
maybe
that guy might not give a shit that
Yeah.
you stand
And again,
this way.
like-
He might see it as this guy's a go-getter.
And for computer science, like, there are obviously people who are better than other people. So
If you
might have
cut-
been just like, this guy's amazing.
It's like when you sneak into a party to get FaceTime with the boss and he goes, listen, you're not supposed to be here. He goes, give me 5 seconds of your time.
Let me hear the elevator
I can
pitch.
code in every different language. I will, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
literally, I've been doing this since I was 4 years old. I promise you, just take a look at this thing.
Yeah.
You just want some FaceTime with the man, right?
Yeah. Unless the companies have like non-binary quotas and stuff that they have put into place, which is possible too.
Well, maybe, yeah, but these guys are
But again, the main issue is
If someone
if
benefits,
those
it's
people
hard to
are willing to be like, they go, you're not non-binary. I go, yes, I am. Like, what if the
You
guys
have to keep the charade up all the time, but you might be able to,
all non-binary people keep the charade up all the time.
but
That's
maybe
what it is.
But you could also say, I'm not non-binary anymore. I mean, as you know, these things are fluid.
Fluid, yeah.
So you go, I'm non-binary, and you go, you said you were non-binary at the festival, and you go, yeah, I was going through a phase. I'm
yeah,
not
he,
anymore.
they, and I'm mostly he, and I'm sometimes they.
Like
at
99.999.
like at these events, I'm they,
Let's
and
just
at
say-
work, I'm a he, as in like not a problem if you catch my drift.
Let's just say the amount of percent I'm he, they approaches infinity. Little fucking
Little math-
computer. Little math humor for the
Little math
boys.
humor for the boys.
I wouldn't say I'm a girl 0% of the time, but it's fair to say that it approaches 0.
Just let me tell you, I'm not going to be a problem if you catch my drift at work. You're not going to be going to HR a lot. Just you decide which part of me that is, but you can tell a joke around me. So you just figure out which.
That's all.
part of me that is.
That's all. Then a girl comes, just fucking elbows her. Just, hey.
Hey, lady. Us ladies are talking.
She said that she suspected that cisgender men might have finessed the system, she calls it. I don't know how it's finessing the system. The system's designed to be finessed.
Yeah.
By pretending to be non-binary or selecting prefer not to answer. Oh,
Why are you not allowed to answer? Okay,
prefer not to answer is even better on their entry forms.
If you can get in with prefer not to answer, then I don't
And she
know.
goes, though there is no solid evidence for that claim. So that's her claim. But she goes, it is funny, but she goes, they're saying that they prefer not to answer and they're pretending to be non-binary. But Based on what?
Yeah. Well, it's because, again, they have an idea of what a non-binary person is supposed to be like, which is essentially a gay person.
Which is essentially what we all know, and they probably wouldn't want people to say.
Yes, but it's essentially just like a lesbian, or not even a lesbian, just a woman. Like, how many women are just like, I'm non-binary? And
if you said that to them, though, but what non-binary, obviously, like a chick that sort of says she's not a gender, and they'd go, what? And you go, all right, well then we'll do it. We'll play.
Yeah,
your
I mean,
rules.
there are male non-binaries, and they're all gay guys.
Yeah.
There's no straight dude who's non-binary, even though that shouldn't necessarily preclude you. Like, you shouldn't have to be gay.
I think you'd
Do you
find
have to be?
certain types of guys that would say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you'd find some straight dudes that would say that,
That
right?
they're
A certain
non-binary.
type.
Yeah, they're at this conference. Trying to snake their way in.
You know the type. They probably look like me, some of them, right?
But they say, I don't know if they say they're like non-binary though.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, so they found many more public comments on LinkedIn left by female and non-binary attendants. How many actual? Sounds like 80% of this conference.
The
is
best are the people who
non-binary.
are like, but I'm actually non-binary, and then some just like nerds like from China is like, I'm also non-binary. Like, no, but I'm really not. I go, I am also non-binary.
Have you seen? I think it was. Maybe Good Will Hunting, probably not. I can't remember, one of those movies, but it became a trope where they go, if the teacher gets fired, I'm leaving,
Yeah.
and then the other kid stands up, and but that's this.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
goes, I'm non-binary, and then the guy stands up. I too am
It's
non-binary.
the Spartacus.
This is the Spartacus. What was it?
There's some movie they're like trying to kill Spartacus or whatever because he's like a slave that rebels, and they go, "Where's Spartacus?" And then someone stands up and goes, "I'm Spartacus." And
That's
then
what
everybody
it was.
stands
Yeah,
up and goes, "I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus."
I too am non-binary. I as well am non-binary.
Bring me the one fake non-binary person to kick out. And he goes, "Who is it?" Or we're ending the whole thing. And he goes, "I'm non-binary." And then everybody starts saying, it's good when people ruin stuff by doing
It's
this.
great when people ruin
That's the
stuff.
best. That's the good shit right there. That's the good shit.
It's such a bunch of weasels fucking running this thing, too.
Of course.
I told you, the guy that was giving a speech that he wasn't happy about
Yeah.
the cisgendered people in attendance, allegedly.
Allegedly.
He was having,
Who do you think's
this guy
more-
having some breakdown
I wonder
on
who's
stage.
more mad, the women there or the people who are like actually non-binary?
I don't think there was probably a whole fucking... my guess would be there's not a ton of non-binaries, but what percentage of people are non-binary?
So weird too, because computer science is all based on the binary, isn't it? Isn't that whole thing ones and zeros? It's like literally, like all of the internet and everything's just
It is
binary.
It is a pretty good way to know that someone wouldn't be good at fucking...
You're like, really? You're non-binary computer programmer?
Oh, I'm non-binary. You go, what's your specialty? Binary language.
All right.
Okay, so they said the comments. This is the part that I was why it was to me like really stuck out as a funny article. They go, the non-binary attendants, the female and non-binary attendees were expressing their disappointment over the experience, describing a place overcapacitated by rude, disrespectful, and female attacking men. So the way that they're describing it is just like they're describing they basically said a bunch of computer you remember in first year university where the engineers all painted their face blue, and basically they act like a frat. She's describing that, like a bunch of guys come in with their faces painted going ole 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 oh psh. They're just dumping their buckets of piss on the girl, hazing them.
Yeah. They're not like
telling the girls to smell their fingers.
They don't like their female environment mailed up. You know,
Ole!
They don't like all that testosterone.
Yeah, it's a lot of testosterone. These guys were hyped up.
That's what it should be. These events should be. You should
They're
have
on
to take
each
a
other's
You
shoulders.
should take a testosterone test.
They're definitely wearing togas. They're all wearing togas. It's a bunch of guys in togas with like beer, the beer funnel hats on.
The question is, how do they fix this for next year? Too?
The what, Johnny? Yeah, they got the John Belushi hats on.
How do they fix it for next year? That's what I wonder.
They can't. It's not fixable. How can you ask someone to
like?
prove
Are they
that
going to
they're
start having like
non-binary?
non-binary licenses and stuff? Like you're gonna have to actually get like a pretty official license that says you're non-binary. What that even entails?
Licensed to be ill.
Yeah, I don't know.
So they say that they're female attacking men. I just don't think that there was a lot of men attacking females, sneaking in to be non-binary and then attacking them.
Yeah.
Like, what's that, sweep kicking, you think? Take out the kneecaps?
Yeah, it's I don't know.
Sacking them, you think?
Yeah, a lot of bag checks.
A lot of bag check. Well, you never know with us non-binaries.
Yep.
Okay, so many said they saw no men attending the panels hosted by women and non-binary people discussing underrepresented and inclusivity in tech.
That's funny. Yeah, they were just busy like getting work done. We're like, yeah, we'll just do coding while you guys fucking waste.
No, they're handing their resumes out and fucking wheeling and dealing.
Yeah, and then those girls are probably like, shit, we need to show face at these things.
We need to show face at the
at the panels and pretend like this is important.
What's even the point of the panels? If you're like, okay, if you're a girl in tech, what is the point of going to like you're just going to like a complaining seminar, right?
Essentially.
How would that help you, really?
Well, I think they just feel like that's, they play the game and then, that's how they get picked.
But who's that for, though? I guess because even if you're talking to the heads of or something, but really, what are you doing? You're taking, like, if you're a girl, I guess use all the extra, if there's extra things that'll help you, use them, but getting involved in this stuff isn't going to help you.
I think they just buy into the bullshit a bit and just
I think some of them just buy into it.
Yeah, they buy into it and they want to go.
It's a struggle session, essentially.
Kind of, and they're just like, they probably feel very powerful coming out of them, that they're like,
But it doesn't make you feel powerful. It tells you you're a victim. It makes you feel the opposite.
Yeah, but they're like, well, we're here, we're fixing it with like conferences like that, while you hear just like a bunch of dudes off in the corner being like, boys. I know for a fact that if I was these kids' age and all this stuff was going on, I would for sure be one of these fake non-binary guys.
I'd probably just try to move towards industries that aren't like this.
Yeah, but I mean, look, if you're someone who wants to be like a computer scientist or whatever, you're like, generally those people have, they're very good at like to an autistic degree to these things. They're like, what, I have to be an accountant now? Like,
well, I think that you would probably avoid the big tech companies and you would probably find the smaller ones where it's like way more like CEO.
Yeah,
he's got
like you're saying,
10 employees and you just go, you can get a job on how great you are. And you're like, this guy's not looking at that bullshit. The problem is when you get to these big companies, they almost have like no choice because they're so like human resource infested.
Yeah, for sure.
So you would, what if you're a dude trying to get involved in these industries?
You want to work at Meta or something.
I think what you do is you probably work your way through the other places that less people are going, and then you probably build up your credentials in the industry, and then you're not trying to come in through these same avenues as these people.
That's true.
It's probably like a better way to do that, right?
Yeah. I mean, there'll be way more competition for fewer spots if you're trying to do it that way.
It makes more sense.
Yeah.
But they go, the fact that none of the guys went to the panels is like obviously they go to hand out their resumes and you go, you're waiting in line. They go, can I bud you? My women in tech conference is starting in 4 minutes. You go, ooh, that's a shame, pal.
That's too bad. Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I'll hold down the form. Why don't you give me your resumes? I'll fucking hand them out for you.
I'll be a real ally and pass them out for you. How does that sound?
Oh yeah, I gave him to a new company. Does tech for waste management.
Oh really? Yeah, really. Good luck with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop them off by their big blue logo. They just appeared at the job fair, making it difficult for women and non-binary people to even get in. The comment said, "I don't really get."
What do you mean they couldn't get in?
I don't get any of that. That's
because it's lies.
It's lies.
It's for sure lies. They're trying to just make themselves victims here more so by being like, we couldn't even get through the door. Yeah, because the doors were set up better for men than women to get through. What were they, booby trapping it? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm sure it was like in a giant conference center. Like, how hard could it have been to get in?
Well, yeah, they engineered something that if it didn't detect a dick, a fucking bottle of slime falls on them. Fuck off. Others said they saw disproportionate amounts of men being offered interviews and being let into the after parties.
Ooh.
So it seems like some of the conference organizers were bros too.
Yeah. Well,
how bad would you be if you saw the non-binary?
So then it did work.
That's what I'm saying. You saw that if you're one of the girls in line and you see one of these bros with the him fucking name tag on, and then walk up to the guy and they go, "Hey, that guy's a guy," and the guy goes, "Hey, there's no way to check," and the hiring manager for the company walks up to him and they just do like an elaborate. They went to the same frat. You know what I mean?
Dab him up.
He goes, "Oh, you didn't tell me you're an Omega man." Oh.
I mean, if you're one of these chicks, though, then just change your fucking pronouns to he, him.
Why don't you say you're a guy now? If it's so much easier.
If you're saying that's so easy, just go. If that's the advantage that they had, then just go change yours to he, him.
Well, you don't see a lot of them doing it, though. It doesn't seem the advantages go that way.
It does not. No.
No, sorry.
No.
But the idea that they were being offered more interviews is hilarious because it means there were some bros on the other side. But again, I'm still with you.
I'd probably feel like it's a lie. Like I think for them, they saw 2 guys out of like all the 100 that
I know
get an interview, and they go like, "That's too many."
And what happened was this is a girl who was just hyped off of her women diversity seminar too, right?
Yeah.
She sat there listening to how hard it is her for 5 hours and came out and saw one guy talking to one guy, and she goes, "That's probably the CEO. Give him a job." Classic. Oh, look. This guy's now the vice president.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, I go to the bathroom for 1 second, and now you're the vice president of Amazon.
Sucks how it goes, but that's how it goes sometimes.
Some of them said they had been bothered and harassed, even hit on. Now we're talking real balls.
Oh, yeah.
This is the picture they're painting. It's a bunch of guys came in, trampled the women, stiff armed them, and now they're hit.
Dude, it was literally like they had like the tailgate for like a Bills game, and then like in the same fucking parking lot as like this conference, and like it got mixed up, and all these fucking tailgaters just like came into this conference. Like that's essentially what they're acting like.
That's what they're describing. Oh yeah, you want to take some non-binary dick tonight? Yeah, you would. Look at those titties. I can't imagine a bunch of guys that are trying to go to a conference to get jobs or harassing women in line. Who knows? One woman said that a man handed her his resume when she wasn't even working there. Oh my God.
Oh, what?
Oh, can you imagine? The horror.
Insanity.
No girl would ever make that mistake. It's only for the men.
Yeah, he goes, "What, do you think I work here?
Don't you want to work here? Yeah. Isn't that the whole thing? You're trying to work here?"
She goes, "I don't want to work for the conference. I want to work for Apple."
Another said she saw worrying behavior. What do you think the worrying behavior is?
Men existing.
Including a man taking a photo of the female recruiter's lower body. now now they're saying, guys,
there's like some creepy dude just taking photos of like just zoomed in asses.
Hey, look
like with everybody else around.
Every guy's just walking around with cameras strapped to his feet.
He had mirrors on his shoes.
I mean, if any of this was true, that's a lot. Guys walking around taking pictures of girls' asses.
I would love to interview one of the guys who was there just to get their side of it.
They probably can't say because, you know.
I know.
It seems unlikely that the guy was walking around taking pictures of the girls' asses.
Yeah, just like a total creepy, like at a fucking tech convention.
Well, it would like render your whole scam useless if you were get in trouble for that shit.
For sure. Like, yeah, you're not doing that while like you're probably taking a photo of something of like a booth or whatever.
Okay, you ready for the last one? These victims, these poor women had to encounter. Another woman named Nivrithi Garamali said that you want to say it or me?
We're not gonna work it anymore.
Said so. This is what Navrithi said, that she left one line due to unchecked men displaying aggressive behavior and ganging up to trample women completely. Do you think they had their cleats on when they were doing it?
They all locked arms.
It was a rugby scrum.
They could just like work their way through and just literally just get rid of all the women.
They did the thing where they body served men to the front. They body served every man to the front of the line.
Yeah.
He's with me. Oh, yeah. Hey, you're butting. He's with me. He's with me. Oh, yeah, he's with me. Just they all fucking go.
I wonder how many like real non-binary people there were, quote unquote. Like,
well,
they probably got really suspicious of the non-binaries too.
Now she says their guys are. She's getting trampled.
Like, I don't know. Is there a police report filed? This seems like criminal borderline.
You can't be getting trampled.